Okay, so again, as a continuation or as a review class, so we end up with death by asphyxia, okay, or asphyxia na tawag natin. Okay, pag sabi din death by asphyxia, of course, that is the kinds of death or it is the condition resulting from the lack of supply of oxygen, okay, from the or yung supply of oxygen class was reduced into the normal level or below the normal level. So that is the death by asphyxia. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so of course we have the types of asphyxia class. Pag sinabi natin number one, anoxic or yung tinatawag naman natin maybe natin iba pa siguro. Okay, so we have the anoxic or anoxic death na tinatawag natin. So it is associated class with the failure of the arterial blood pressure or the arterial blood natin to become normally and saturated with oxygen. Tanda nyo, kapag anoxic death under the types of asphyxia, nakafocus yan sa failure of the arteries or yung tinatawag natin na arterial blood to become normally saturated with oxygen. Of course, di ba? Yung mga arteries natin, it is important for blood circulation. So that's why ang anoxic death, it is associated with failure of the arterial blood. Okay, so it becomes saturated or it becomes normal when mixed with or saturated with oxygen. Number two naman, we have the anemic or anoxic death na tinatawag natin. Ito naman, due to the diseased capacity of the blood to carry oxygen. Of course, are you familiar with anemic? Okay, so meaning, of course, it is a very common disease class wherein yung capacity of the blood to carry oxygen is, of course, kulang. Okay, so anemic, anoxic death. Of course, that is the anemic anoxic death, blood to carry oxygen. Failure of the blood to carry oxygen. Di ba? Very important yung tinatawag natin na the oxygen in the blood circulation. Of course, kung healthy ba yung blood natin, so that's why very important yung, of course, yung capacity niya to carry oxygen to the blood. Okay, so useless kasi kapag wala yung tinatawag natin na oxygen. Then, of course, we have the stagnant anoxic death. Okay, stagnant. Ibig sabihin, class, pag stagnant, it is yung nag-stop talaga, class. Okay, failure of circulation. So again, pag sinabi natin stagnant anoxic death, it is the failure of circulation. Normally, yung blood talaga nag-stop na mag-flow. So that's why it is a stagnant anoxic death. Failure of circulation. Then, of course, number four, we have the historic anoxic death. Ang historic anoxic death naman, that is due to the failure of the cellular oxidate process. Ibig sabihin sa mga cells naman yan, yung historic anoxic death natin. Okay, due to failure of the cellular oxidate process. Okay, so ulitin natin. Okay, so we have the types of asphyxia. Okay, of course, una dyan, so we have the anoxic death. It is the failure of the arterial blood. Ang anemic naman, class, of course, that is the disease or the capacity of the blood to carry oxygen. While the stagnant anoxic death, of course, that is the type of asphyxia wherein ang cause niyan is the failure of circulation. Then, of course, ang historic or anoxic death naman, of course, dahil yan, sa tinatawag natin na cellular oxidate process. Okay? Historic anoxic death. Yan. Okay? So, pakibasa ulit, Sir Lloyd, yung types of asphyxia natin para before tayo sa next slide.
Okay, types of asphyxia. Number one, we have anoxic death. It associated with the failure of the arterial blood to become normally saturated with oxygen. Number two, we have anemic anoxic death. It is due to a diseased capacity of the blood to carry oxygen. Number three, we have stagnant anoxic death, brought about by the failure of circulation. And number four, we have historic anoxic death. It is due to failure of the cellular oxidate process.
Okay, sige. Okay, so yan yung types of asphyxia class na meron tayo. So again, anoxic, anemic, stagnant, and historic anoxic death. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so let's move on sa next slide. Okay, so again, of course, we have, kung meron tayong types of asphyxia, meron din tayong tinatawag na
Hindi pa
methods
pwede dyan,
of
klase.
asphyxia. Of course, wait lang. Yung i-mute ko muna yung iba. Okay, so again, kung meron tayong types of asphyxia, meron tayong tinatawag na methods of asphyxia. Of course, number one dyan, we have the asphyxia by strangulation. Or of course, tinatawag na natin the strangulation by ligature, di ba? Of course, by hands or by ligature. Of course, yung kukuha tayo ng lubid. Okay? So, by hands or yung tinatawag natin ng garrote. So, that's why it is the when the supply of the oxygen was below the normal level. So that is what we call asphyxia. But of course, as strangulation natin, pwedeng gamitan natin yung kamay or ligature, halimbawa lubid or any pantalit. So that is this strangulation by hands or by ligature. Then of course, we have the smothering or yung tinatawag natin na suffocation. Okay, so smothering naman or suffocation when the entrance of the air through the nose and the mouth is totally blocked. Again, pag sinabi natin smothering or suffocation, when the entrance of the air, of course, yung mouth and nose natin is blocked on severely restricted. Of course, smothering or suffocation. So that is, lalo na di ba kapag may sunog, okay, masuffocate tayo or smothering, malunod. So that's why the entrance of the air is totally black. So that's why hindi namamatay yung tao. So smothering or suffocation ang tawag natin dyan. Then of course the third, of course the hanging. Okay, ang asphyxia by hanging, of course, when the neck is tied while the body is totally suspended on the air. Of course from the common outside. So that is asphyxia by hanging. When the neck is tied, of course, di ba? Kapag nakahang, then of course ang body niya totally free or totally suspended in the air. So that is what we call the asphyxia by hanging. Okay? Then fourth, choking naman. Of course, di ba? When the internal airway or that is the blocking of the internal airway by a foreign object, ano ba? Nabulunan, okay? Of course, inside or outside the victim's body, so that is choking. Or nalagyan ng di ba, yung mga bata pa tayo, yun yung palaging ano natin, yung sa mais, okay? Palay, okay, nalagyan ng mga mais at palay yung ano yung nose ninyo. So that is the blocking of internal airway by a foreign object. Okay? So that is choking. Then we have the traumatic asphyxia naman. Of course, that is brought about the mechanical compression of the chest by some heavy object. Okay, so nadaganan or na halimbawa yung aparador or yung cabinet natumba sa kanya, so that is traumatic asphyxia naman. Of course, di ba? Dahil sa shock, okay? Dahil sa impact or yung sa heavy object, so that is traumatic asphyxia. Then, of course, yung tinatawag natin na drowning, okay? So, of course, ang drowning, of course, yung sa tubig, di ba? Okay, to die for too long, unable to breathe, or kapag nasa tubig glass. So yan yung tinatawag natin na drowning. Okay, to die in water, too long, unable to breathe. That is what we call drowning. Okay, ulitin natin as a summary. Pag sinabi nating methods of asphyxia, so we have the strangulation. Kapag kamay yung ginamit glass or by use of the hand, of course, strangulation by, of course, meron tayong garroting. Then of course, strangulation by ligature. Kapag ginamit yung mga lubid or any napantali glass para ma-reduce yung oxygen into the normal level, that of course, yan yung cause ng death ng particular person. Then of course, we have the smothering or suffocation naman kapag yung entrance of air, halimbawa yung nose and mouth is blocked or severely restricted, lalo na kapag may mga sunod. Okay, that is smothering or suffocation. While ang hanging naman, when the neck is tied and of course the body is suspended or free from the air, or of course from the common, which is common from the outside force, so that is hanging. While ang choking naman class, of course, that is the blocking of internal airway by a foreign object. Of course, halimbawa napasukan or pumasok siya sa internal airway, di ba, sa sa nose natin. So that is choking. While ang choking, of course, yan. Ang traumatic asphyxia naman, of course, there is a mechanical compression on the chest by some heavy object, di ba? Baka nataganan siya or natumba yung heavy object na yon that caused traumatic asphyxia. Then we have the drowning naman, of course, to die in water for too long and unable to breathe. Of course, that is drowning, of course, sa tubig, di ba? Kapag masyado kang nababad sa tubig, okay, so, di ba, ang normal lang naman na pag-breathe ng tao is hindi naman masyadong tawag nito, matagal. So kapag matagal ka nakababad sa tubig, of course, halimbawa, lalo na nalunod ka na, of course, that is, ang cause ng pagkamatay mo, class, is death to drowning. Okay? So, nalunod. Okay? So for too long, unable to breathe. Nakuha ba? Nasundan ninyo, class? Nasundan?
Yes, coach.
Okay, sige. So yan. Okay, so what happened to the body after death? So ano ba yung mangyayari, class, sa katawan natin after death? Of course, number one dyan, we have what we call the putrefaction. Okay, ang putrefaction, class, that is the breaking down of the complex protein into simpler components. Of course, pag namatay or kapag after namatay ang isang tao, of course, magkaroon talaga ng putrefaction, class. Ang tanda nyo sa putrefaction na ano natin dyan, that is the breaking down of the complex protein. Okay? Of course, class, di ba, meron talaga yan. Merong changes sa katawan. Okay? That is what we call the putrefaction. Okay? So, breaking down of the complex protein into the simpler components. Then, of course, ang putrefaction, class, it is associated with the evolution of foul smelling. Halimbawa, yung nagtutubig na or yung tinatawag natin na nagmamantika kasi that is the sign na may protein sa katawan natin, di ba? So, di ba, halimbawa, sa fish, ano ba yung kinukuha natin sa fish? Of course, protein. Okay? Yung oil. So, that's why it is associated, class, with the evolution of foul smelling, yung masyadong mabaho. So, that is putrefaction. Okay? So, yan yung tinatawag natin na putrefaction. Of course, ang putrefaction, class, it is accompanied by the change of the color of the body or tinatawag din natin yan na decomposition. So tandaan nyo kapag tinanong sa board exam, it is also known as putrefaction. Of course, nasagot nyo dyan, that is also decomposition. Ibig sabihin, class, kapag nag-breakdown na yung complex protein sa katawan natin wherein meron ng foul smelling, merong changes sa color of the body, ibig sabihin, that's the sign na nagdi-decompose na yung body natin. Nawa? Ibig sabihin, magiging ano na yan. Okay? So yan yung tinatawag natin na decomposition or the breaking down of the complex protein into simpler component. Ibig sabihin, kapag nakita mo na meron na masyadong mabaho, okay? Meron nang lumalabas na protein sa katawan. So meaning, that is the sign na nag-change ang color or meron ng decomposition na nangyayari sa body. Nakuha ninyo? Nakuha ba? Ay, naintindihan ba, class, ang putrefaction? Naintindihan ba? Okay, sige nga. Pakibasa ulit, class. Okay. Sige, dito tayo. Babasahin mo muna para mas si Karina. Karina? Nandyan si Karina? Okay, si ano na lang, si Daniel J. Mondelo. Mondelo? Mondelo Daniel J. Nandyan ba siya? Bakit hindi sumasagot tong mga to? Si Sir Florendo. Florendo?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sige. Sir Florendo, pakibasa ng putrefaction ulit.
Putrefaction, breaking down of the complex protein into simpler components associated with the evolution of foul-smelling gases, accompanied by the change of color of the body or the decomposition.
Okay. So again, pag sinabi natin putrefaction, of course, that is the breaking down of complex protein, yung tinatawag rin natin, class, na decomposition. Okay, ibig sabihin na naagnas na. Okay, so yan yung tinatawag natin na putrefaction. Then, of course, we have the mummification. Kapag familiar ka or pamilya yung tinatawag natin sa mummification, di ba? Lalo na sa Egypt, di ba? So ang mummification class, of course, that is yan yung tinatawag natin na shrunkening and preservation of the dead body. Kung nanonood ko yun ng mga balita, yung mummification, kung ano yung shape ng kabaong, halimbawa, ano yun, yung mga mummies na nalabas nila, kung ano yung shape ng kabaong class, yun rin yung kanyang body or paglabas ng body niya class kapag i-preserve natin, okay? Shrunkening and preservation of the body. Kapag halimbawa, mag-uukit sila ng ganito na shape, doon nila na yan class, parang ipupush or tinatawag natin na i-shrunken. Ibig sabihin, paliitin, gawing ipagkasya doon sa ginawa nilang carve or yung carving nila class para ma-preserve yung body for how many years or how many decades. So that is what they call mummification class, shrunkening and preservation of the dead body. Walang air na makapasok or wala talagang butas class. Okay? So that is mummification, shrunkening and preservation of the dead body. Kapag ang kulay or yung shape ng tinatawag natin na kabaong, yun rin yung masusunod class. Okay? So yan rin yung magiging shape ng dead body kapag na-preserve na siya for how many decades. Okay? So again, pag sinabi natin putrefaction, that is the breaking down of protein or yung tinatawag natin na decomposition. While ang mummification naman, tandaan nyo lang yung shrunkening class and preservation of the dead body. Kung ano yung shape ng kabaong, yun rin siya mapipreserve. Okay? So that is mummification or shrunkening and preservation of the dead body. Then we have the saphonification. Ang saphonification, of course, tinatawag rin natin yan class na adiposaur or yung tinatawag natin adiposaur. Okay? Adiposaur formation or adiposauri formation wherein that is the formation of a soft, friable and brownish white greasy substance in the soft fatty tissues of the body after death. Okay? Tandaan nyo kung si putrefaction is also known as the decomposition, si saphonification naman class, tinatawag natin na adiposaure formation. Okay? So formation of a soft, friable, and take note, brownish, white, greasy substance in soft fatty tissues of the body after death. Doon lang class sa mga fatty tissues ng katawan natin. So that is adiposaure formation. Ibig sabihin, meron ng tinatawag natin na formation of a soft. Ibig sabihin yung mga greasy substance. Okay, masyadong Then we have the maceration. Ang maceration naman, of course, that is the softening and discoloration of tissues. Again, tandaan nyo, maceration talks about the tissues with softening or the discoloration of the body tissues. Then we have the skeleton. Ang skeleton naman, that is the remaining part of the body that did not decay after death of a person. Okay? So, that is the skeleton. Okay, kailan natin malalaman class na skeleton na yung tinatawag natin na ang body ng katawan? After how many days? Again, kailan natin malalaman na skeleton na yung katawan ng na mayapang kamag-anak natin, na mayapang kapamilya natin? How many days ba? Bago natin malaman na of course, skeleton na pala yung katawan nito. Sino yung mga Catholic dito? Of course, alam na alam nyo to, how many days natin malalaman na masasabi natin na skeleton na yung katawan ng ating kabag-anak. Ilang days class? Ilan? Ilang days ba? Ibig sabihin na agnas na. Okay. 30 days. Medyo kulang. 40 days, of course, 40. Kapag 30 days class, ano pa lang 'yan, 'di ba? Kapag 'di ba kapag may namatay sa atin after niya nailibing, nagka-count tayo ng 40 days, ibig sabihin ano na 'yan class? Na-decompose na yung katawan niya, ibig sabihin yung skeleton na lang yung natitira doon. Okay? So 40 days. Kapag 30 days class, medyo nasa ano pa yan siya, nasa 80% siguro decomposition niya. Baka meron pang mga other parts ng katawan na. Okay, di ba? Ang natitira doon yung skeleton at of course yung bungo niya, di ba? So yan yung tinatawag natin na the remaining parts of the body that did not decay after death of a person. Okay? So kaya di ba? Kapag ilipat natin yung nicho, di ba? So ano na lang yung kinukuha natin, yung kanyang skeleton, di ba? So ililipat natin. Kaya ibig sabihin, yun na lang yung pwede nating i-preserve or may transfer sa kabilang, of course, kabilang libingan. So that is 40 days period, class. Okay, so tanan nyo the remaining part of the body that did not decay after death of a person, that is skeleton. Okay, but of course, the last to decay, class, is the hair. Okay, yung pinaka-last na magde-decay, of course, the hair, class. Okay, so how many days? Okay, so of course, within 30 to 30 days, the body become, of course, skeleton. So, ayan, 30 to 40 days, class, 30 to 40 days. From 30 days to 40 days. So, yan, pagdating sa board exam, okay, how many days the skeleton become, of course, in how many or within period, within what period, class, na mag-decay ang skeleton, okay? Ang katawan natin maging skeleton, of course, that is 30 to 40 days. Pag may 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, okay, 40 to 50, ang sagot niya dyan, class, is 30 to 40 days, the body becomes skeleton. Nakuha ba? Nakuha ba? Nasundan ninyo, class? So again, 30 to 40 days yung maging skeleton yung katawan ng isang tao. Nakuha ba? Nakuha ninyo? Bakit wala sumasagot?
Yes, coach.
Okay, sige.
Yes, coach.
30 to 40 days ang ating katawan. Okay. So, yan. Okay, so next tayo. Nandito ba si Lawrence? Naabutan mo si Dr. Peckley sa University of Mindanao? Nakapunta ka?
Yes, sir. Kahapon, sir.
Okay. Kamusta? Kamusta yung ano ninyo? Yung discussion ninyo?
Mga techniques pa rin para sa board exam, sir. Nagbigay siya, sir.
Mabuti. So, nakuha mo na?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Okay, so ayan. So death as punishment, of course, kapag nakipag-usap ka kay Dr. Peckley, ay kapag nakikinig ka sa akin, si Dr. Peckley na rin yung pinaparinggan mo kasi kumaga ako parang si Dr. Peckley na rin. Kasi of course, naipasa niya sa akin yan guys for how many years. So yun yung sinasabi nila eh. Okay, so of course, we have the death as punishment. Of course, pag sinabi natin we have the death by lethal injection. Okay, so ano yung ginagamit natin, class, na substance or chemical in the lethal injection? Sige nga, tingnan natin sa comment section. Ano yung ginagamit natin na substance or chemical in the death or in the death penalty through lethal injection? Okay, ano yun, class? Okay, very good. So that is sodium thiopental or pentothal or thiopental, that is what they call the chemical used gas in lethal injection. Of course, di ba ang epekto daw ng sodium thiopental or pentothal, of course parang makakatulog ka. So, di mo alam, mamamatay ka na pala. Okay, so that is death by lethal injection. Of course, we have the death by electrocution. Of course, yung tinatawag natin na electrocution used of about 2,000 to 500 or to 5,000 voltages. Okay, ano ba yung normal class na voltage na ginagamit natin sa mga bahay natin or yung kaya ng katawan natin? Hindi talaga tayo agad-agad mamamatay. Okay, so sa electrocution, ano yon? Ilang voltage? Dapat alam nyo how many voltage or ano yung voltage class or voltages ng electricity na meron kayo sa bahay ninyo or sa mga school or sa ano. Hindi nyo talaga nabasa? Ilan? Okay, very good. So that is 220, okay, voltages ang kaya or yung normal lang na voltage ng electricity. So dito sa electrocution, of course, to about 2,000 to 5,000 voltages yung nandun. Mamamatay ka talaga, di ba? Then, of course, we have the death by gas chamber. Then, death by hanging. Then, we have the death by musketry or firing squad. Okay? Sino yung na-firing squad natin dito, class? Sorry. Sino yung na-firing squad natin sa Pilipinas? Death by musketry or firing squad. Kapag hindi nyo alam, sasampalin daw kayo ng kasi mabubuhay daw siya para sampalin kayo. Kung hindi nyo alam kung sino yung na-death by musketry. Okay, of course, si Dr. Jose Rizal, di ba? Siya yung tinatawag natin na, di ba, firing squad. Saan siya na firing squad, class? Saang lugar sa Pilipinas siya na firing squad? Okay, saang lugar na firing squad si Dr. Jose Rizal? Sagutin nyo nga. Saan ba si Dr. Rizal ngayon? So doon lang na yung focus niyo. Saan ba makikita yung kanyang statue or yung statue niya rather? Okay, of course sa Luneta Park, 'di ba? So that's why class, kapag tinanong sa board exam, okay, ano yung tatlo? Okay, buong bayan ng Luneta Park. Very good. Okay, kapag tinanong sa board exam, ano yung tatlong death penalty or kinds ng death penalty na pinatupad or nangyari na sa Pilipinas, guys? Again, ano yung tatlong death penalty na nangyari or pinatupad na sa Pilipinas? Okay, pili kayo dito. Okay, so very good. So that is by electrocution, lethal injection, and of course, we have the firing squad or musketry. Okay? So yan yung tinatawag natin na firing squad or musketry, electrocution, and of course, we have the lethal injection. So ano yung keyword nyo dyan? Okay? So we have the LEM. Okay, ano na lang? LEM. Okay. Death penalty. Yan yung LEM natin, class. Ibig sabihin, lethal injection, we have the electrocution, and of course, we have the what they call the musketry or the firing squad. Okay? So that is the death punishment. Nakuha ninyo? Nasundan ba? Nasundan, class?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so very good. Okay. So kapag gabi class dapat make sure na kahit yung sa maglaan kayo ng times na tawag nito, ano yun, mag-research. Okay? So dapat halimbawa sa lethal injection, ano ba yung ginagamit natin? Electrocution, sa musketry. Okay? So dapat every night kasi every night kapag gabi kasi minsan yung iba hindi pumapasok, 'di ba? So actually maganda 'yon. Ginagawa ko dati nung nagre-review ako, every night ako nagre-research. That is intended for research. Doon ko na-discover class yung mga hindi natuturo, 'di ba? So yun class, ang gagawin niyo kapag gabi dapat find time kahit 1 hour class. Kahit 1 hour na mag-research kayo sa mga topics ninyo na hindi niyo naintindihan para of course mabigyan yung tinatawag natin na yung gap sa ninyo, yung mga hindi nyo nabasa or hindi nyo na-encounter, may encounter nyo doon. So, ayan, pwede kayo magbasa kapag gabi mag-research kapag gabi. Libre naman yung Google. Gamitin nyo yan, class. Nakuha ba? So, dapat wag lang wag lang pa chill-chill kapag gabi, di ba? Okay, so aside sa magbasa kayo, mag-research rin kayo. Lalo na kapag ma-board kayo, nagbasa ng basa, so dapat, muna, chill. Then, of course, after that, sige na naman. Okay? Then, of course, the death penalty law in the Philippines. So, we have the Republic Act 7659. That is, of course, the imposing the death penalty on the certain heinous crimes. So, pag sabi natin heinous crimes, those are crimes punishable by death in the Philippines. Then, of course, yung that was approved into law on December 13, 1993. So, that's why, di ba, tinawag natin yan na re-imposition of the death penalty in the Philippines. Okay, so ibig sabihin na-reimpose ulit yung death penalty sa Pilipinas, but of course, lang yan, limited lang yan sa tinatawag natin na heinous crimes. Okay, so those are punishable by death. Then of course, we have the Republic Act 8177. So yung 8177 naman, of course, that is the act designating the death by lethal injection by the use of sodium thiopental or yung tinatawag natin na thiopental or pentothal. Okay? So of course, ang thiopental or pentothal, that is the chemical or the substance gas na tinuturok using the death penalty by lethal injection. Then we have the Republic Act number 9346. Of course, that is the act prohibiting the imposition of the death penalty in the Philippines. Ibig sabihin, as of now, wala tayong death penalty sa Pilipinas. Okay, that was abolished on June 24, 2006. Okay, so yan yung death penalty in the Philippines. Tandaan nyo, class, of course, di ba, we are Catholic country. So ang Pilipinas lang, of course, yung nagpatupad ng death penalty na Catholic. Okay, so but of course, later on, or yung noong 2006, of course, that was abolished through Republic Act number 9346. So meaning, wala pa tayong death penalty in the Philippines. Nakuha ba? Nasundan ba ninyo? Okay, so tanan nyo lang, RLA 789. So 7659, that is the reimposition of the death penalty. RA number 8177, that is the death penalty through lethal injection. And we have Republic Act number 9346, that is the act prohibiting the imposition of the death penalty in the Philippines. Of course, that was abolished on June 24, 2006. Nakuha ba? Nasundan niyo, class? Nasundan ba?
Yes,
okay na ba?
sir.
Okay, sige, next. Okay, of course, we have the three separate injections, class. Okay? Coach, possible po ba may TOS na sa August 2024? Bibili po kasi ako ng libro ng Ortea na ka-TOS na daw po sa August 2024. Yes, nalabas na ang TOS, class. Same pa rin ang laman ng TOS. Specific na. Specific lang. Okay, mamaya, sige, mamaya pagdating ko sa bahay namin, isend ko yung bagong TOS. So, yan. Wala ka pa bang wala kang Cream Coach Power Notes? Si Latif? Wala kang Cream Coach Power Notes? Yun yung mas naka-incline sa TOS. Yung bagong Power Notes ay wala pa. Yung class, so sa inyo baka may bala kayo mag yung sa book na yung sa Power Notes namin sa Cream Coach Philippines. Of course, yan yung ginagamit ng halos lahat halos lahat ng schools. Of course, 'di ba? Marami na sa kung kahit saan niya So, yan, actually ang bumibili niyan, school talaga yung gumagastos. Fourth year pa lang sila, bumibili na sila ng Power Notes. Yung namin, yung Power Notes, di ba? Hindi pa kayo nakapollow sa akin sa Facebook. Yung Power Notes na dalawa, all area, tapos yun, 1/8 yung dalawang book. 36 subject na yan, class. 18 subject for module 1, 18 subject for module 2. Yung Power Notes, naka-TOS. Of course, mas mabilis din yung masundan ang tawag nito, yung discussions doon. Mamaya na lang, class, i-send ko sa GC natin after ng ng discussion. Akala ko meron na kayo lahat dito na Power Notes. Sino ba yung may Power Notes na dito? Sino yung nakabili Nung last time na nagpa-raffle kami ng 10 Q&A, ang 10 Q&A na yon, Q&A na in all area, okay? Si Valdez meron na. In all area, 10 yung nanalo ng Q&A. Tapos free shipping pa yon, kami yung nag-send ng libre sa kanila. Okay, kasi lahat ng mga bumili, class, meron na silang coupon na for raffle. So mamaya, class, i-send ko na lang yung yung kung gusto niyo bumili ng ng Power Notes. Anong area ka na, Valdez, sa Power Notes na binabasa mo? Anong area na? Si Valdez, tanungin natin. Module 2 na siya. Okay, very good. Okay, so ganun, class, So kung wala pa kayo, so mamaya na lang i-send ko sa GC para malaman niyo. Agad-agad naman sinisend nila yung niyo, yung orders niyo. Kayo pala yung hindi pa naka-order. Okay, so yan. Okay, so dito tayo. Okay, let's continue. So again, so we have the 3 separate injections. Huwag kayong class huwag kayong mag-order kahit saan ng mga libro. Sasabihin at sasabihin talaga nila yan na naka-TOS based, di ba? Okay, alam nga naman, ikaw nagbibenta ng libro. Tapos tanongin, sir, TOS based ba yan sa 2024? Siyempre, sasagot talaga sila ng yes, di ba? Siyempre, paano may benta yung libro nila? Kaya that's why, piliin nyo yung libro talaga na, of course, di ba? That is simplified, madaling maintindihan lahat-lahat. Okay? Yung sigurado kayo sa quality. So, yan. Okay, so of course, so we have the 3 separate injections class. Number 1, we have sodium thiopental or sodium pentothal. Of course, it will cause death due to the lack of breathing. Again, so we have the sodium thiopental or sodium pentothal. Okay, we have the class? Mamamatay ka because of the lack of breathing, as happens with overdoses of opioids. Kasi of course, di ba may opioids yan kapag sa tinatawag natin na pentothal. Okay, lack of breathing. Then we have what we call the pancuronium bromide. Okay, yung pancuronium bromide naman, of course, that is the non-depolarizing muscle relaxant. Yung parang i-relax. Okay, non-depolarizing muscle relaxant. I-relax yung muscle mo, parang natutulog ka lang, parang you die peacefully. Okay, so pancuronium bromide. Then, of course, we have the potassium chloride. Ang potassium chloride class, of course, it will cause you cardiac arrest. Okay, so yan yung tinatawag natin na potassium chloride. But of course, ito yung pinakauna, ito yung tinatawag natin na ginagamit talaga class sa death through lethal injection. But of course, ito yung natin yung tatlo na to, ito yung sila yung pinaka natin, o mga choices natin. But of course, the primary choice is the sodium thiopental or sodium pentothal. Okay? Sige, pakibasa ulit class para para makita ng mga klase niyo. Lawrence, pakibasa ulit para mas ma-retain before tayo proceed sa kabila.
3 separate injections. 1. Sodium thiopental or sodium pentothal. Cause death due to lack of breathing, as happens with overdoses of opioids. 2. Pancuronium bromide, non-depolarizing muscle relaxant. 3. Potassium chloride, cause cardiac arrest.
Okay, very good. Okay, ganun lang tandaan yung class ha. So again, so we have the sodium thiopental or sodium pentothal. Of course, that is the due to lack of breathing. Ang pancuronium bromide naman class, muscle relaxant. And the potassium chloride, of course, ang epekto niyan class is cardiac arrest. Okay, possible pa ba sir na ma-revive kapag ma-lethal injection? Kapag ma-lethal injection class, yan? Hindi na siya possible na ma-revive. Okay? Kasi of course, di ba, it will cause you death talaga. Siyempre, lack of breathing, habulin mo yung mo. Then after that class, wala na talaga. Parang mamamatay ka talaga class. Peacefully or tinatawag natin na sigurado na yung pagkamatay mo. Okay? So, yan yung tinatawag. Kahit kahit sabihin mo pa yung tao na yon walang history ng tinatawag natin na allergy or walang history ng mga sakit. But still, pagdating ng so kapag sa lethal injection, mamamatay at mamamatay ka. Okay? So kapag may revival, pwede ma-revive class kapag konti lang yung tinatawag natin na dose ang nabigay sa kanya. Pero kapag yung maximum limit na or maximum level na yung nabigay, there's no chance class na ma-revive yung tao na yun. Okay? So, ayan. Nakuha na ba class yung 3 separate injections? Nasundan ninyo? Ganon lang class So, sodium thiopental or pentothal, lack of breathing. Pancuronium naman, muscle relaxant. And the potassium chloride by cardiac arrest. Okay? So, yan. Okay, then of course we have si Charles Brooks Jr. Of course, in state of Texas, the first person executed through lethal injection in 1977. Okay, si Leo Pilo Itchagaray naman. Sino naman to class? Sino si Leo Pilo Itchagaray? Sino naman to class? Pakilagay nga sa comment section kung kilala niyo siya. Si Leo Pilo Echagaray. Sino siya? Kilala niyo siya? Hindi. First person of that penalty. Saang lugar? Saang lugar si Echagaray? Sa Pilipinas ba? Sa US? Sa UK? Saan siya? Si Leo Pilo Echagaray. Okay, so of course, si Leo Pilo Echagaray class, of course, that is the first Filipino to be meted the death penalty. Okay, very good. Okay, so the first Filipino to be meted out or to be meted out with the death penalty. So Leo Pilo Echagaray. Okay, nakuha? Then, of course, we have the execution by electrocution. Of course, that is by using the electric chair. Okay, so electric chair yung tinatawag natin or electrocution. We have the Sir Alfred P. Southwick naman. Of course, siya yung nag-invent class ng electric chair. Of course, during 1880s as a human alternative to hanging as the first use or ginamit in class during 1890. Then, of course, so William Francis Kemmler naman class, he is to become the first person in the world to be legally executed using an electric chair. Again, si William Francis Kemmler, the first person in the world to be legally executed using an electric chair. While ang euthanasia, of course, that is the mercy killing. So tandaan nyo class, ang euthanasia or mercy killing, it produces painless death of a person suffering from hopelessly incurable and painful disease. So meaning wala na talagang lunas, wala na talagang way na makasurvive yung tao na yan. Incurable. Okay? And it is not allowed in the law of the Philippines. Kasi class, kapag you executed or kapag nagkaroon ng euthanasia in the Philippines, ano yung magiging crime na ipapataw or ikakaso sa iyo class? Anong krimen ang na-violate mo under the Philippine law? Kasi ang euthanasia that is not allowed in the Philippines. Of course, automatic, that is murder. Okay? Tandaan nyo, murder. Kapag mercy killing or euthanasia, so that is not allowed in the Philippines. So meaning murder ang ikakaso sa'yo. Okay? Sorry. Okay, next. After ni Sir, nandiyan na ba si Montano, CB? Montano? Sir Montano? Wala? Okay, si JB Muñoz. JB Muñoz?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sige. Pakibasa, then sagutan ng mga classmates.
There is a classification of an injury according to the location of the injury that is formed at the site of the application of force. A. Co-injury. B. Contra-co injury. C. Co-contra-co. C. Co-contra-co. D. Close wound.
Okay, so it is the classification of injury according to location of the injury that is formed at the site of the application of force. Kung saan siya, halimbawa, kung saan siya, class? Kung saan siya tinamaan, doon ang injury. Or what kind of injury is that? Sige, go ahead on the comment section. Wala na pa ng tubig class ha. Oo. Okay. So bakit iba-iba yung sagot ninyo? Okay, ulitin natin na it is the classification of injury according to the location of the injury that is formed at the site of the application of force. So meaning class, ang injury, makikita natin kung saan siya tinamaan. Okay? Kung saan siya tinamaan, doon ang injury. So that's why ang sagot natin dyan class, that is letter A, co-injury. Okay? Bakit may nagkamali sa inyo? Okay? That is co-injury class ha? Yung force or yung injury doon sa tinatawag natin na site of the application of force. Okay, dito tayo class. I-explain natin. Okay, so as to the relation or in relation to the site of the application of force and injury, so we have the co-injury. Okay, ang co-injury of course, yung injury makikita natin at the site of the application of force. Halimbawa, kung tinamaan ka dito class, dito sa ano mo, okay, sa noo mo, dito mo makikita yung injury. Visible ang injury dito. So that's why it is the co-injury at the site of the application of force. Nakuha, nasundan ninyo. Next, second, we have the contrico injury. Ang contrico injury class, ang injury makikita natin on the opposite side of the application of force. Okay, ulitin natin, ang contrico, makikita natin yung injury at the opposite side of the application of force. Kapag tinamaan ka dito, class, okay, kapag tinamaan ka dito, hindi mo makikita dito or hindi visible ang injury dito sa side of the application of force, kung di dito sa kabila. Okay, dito sa kabila, dito sa back portion mo ng noo mo, ang tinatawag natin na injury. Dito, okay? Yung injury is makikita natin on the opposite side of the application of force. Nawa? Then of course, we have the contrico. Okay, ang contrico injury naman class, tandaan nyo lang, ang contrico injury, ang injury makikita natin class both at the site of the application of the force and of course at the opposite side of the application of force. Ibig sabihin, kapag tinamaan ka dito, okay, kapag tinamaan ka dito, may makikita mo rin dito yung injury. At the same time, meron ring injury dito at the opposite side of the application of force. That's why it is the co-injury. Ulitin natin. Sa co-injury, kung saan ka tinamaan ng force, doon mo makikita ang injury. Kapag dito ka tinamaan, dito yung injury. Kapag contrico naman, tinamaan ka dito, pero ang injury hindi dyan, kundi dito sa opposite side of the application of force. While the co-contrico, both at the side of the application of force and the opposite side of the application of force. Kung tinamaan ka dito, merong injury dito, at the same time, sa likod rin, or the opposite side of the application of force. So that is the co-contrico injury. Nakuha ba? Nasundan ninyo class? Nasundan nyo ba? Tingnan natin kung magkamali pa kayo sa board exam dyan. Nasundan nyo na? Okay, so yan.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so wala na magkamali dyan ha. Okay, so kung pwede na lang tamaan kayo sa akin. Kaso online pala, no? Okay, so hindi pwede. So co-contrico para malalaman natin. Okay, next. Okay. Okay, next we have the locus minoris resistentia. Okay? Ang locus minoris resistentia class, of course, that is the injury is found on some area offering the least resistance to the force applied. Okay? Okay, again, ang injury makikita natin on the some area offering the least resistance to the force applied. Okay? Kung saan yung hindi masyadong doon natin makikita class yung kanyang injury. Okay, yung masyadong hindi natamaan. Okay, least resistance to the force applied. So doon natin makikita yung locus minoris resistentia. Then we have the extensive injury. Ang extensive injury, of course, there is a greater area of damage to that particular body. While, okay, so yan yung tinatawag natin na extensive injury. Then, of course, we have the classification of injury or yung tinatawag natin na classification of what they call injury. Okay, so of course we have as to the severity of injury, we have the mortal wound. Kapag mortal wound class, of course it is vital. Delikado yan class. It will cause you to death. Okay, so that is vital wound or it is a mortal wound. Ang non-mortal wound naman, of course, that is non-vital injury. Ibig sabihin masyado hindi yan magpo-cause ng death. Okay, so mortal wound that is vital, it will cause you to death. Ang non-mortal wound naman, that is non-vital. Of course, that is for the purpose or yun yung tinatawag natin na mag-cause lang ng injury. Pero malayo sa bituka. Okay? So that is non-mortal wound. Okay, then